You're listening to the Catholic Family Podcast, Lent Around the World, daily meditations chosen and read by traditional Catholics from around the globe.
This is Gabriel Davis speaking to you from the St. Joseph Minor Seminary in Rathdrum, Idaho. Reading the new Practical Meditations by Father Bruno Vercruysse, Society of Jesus. Imprimatur 1938. The Treason of Judas. Point 1. As he yet spoke, behold, Judas, one of the 12, came with him a great multitude with swords and clubs. Matthew chapter 26, verse 47. Consideration. We have today to meditate on a profound and awful mystery of perversion. Judas, one of the 12 chosen disciples of Jesus, taught by him for 3 years, confirmed in the faith by so many miracles, loaded with favors, is become the tool of those who plot the death of the Lord. He has sold him to them for 30 pieces of silver. He comes treacherously to deliver him into their hands. Alas, such is the depth of blindness and perversity, into which by degrees avarice has plunged unhappy Judas. We may indeed cry out with David, taught by his own weakness, Quid est homo? What is man? Application. Let the misfortune of another serve as a warning to you. See if there be not certain passions in you which have never been conquered, which after having been repressed have little by little regained their former empire. There need not be many of these, only one may suffice to overcome virtue on which we think we can fully rely. The history of the Church and of religious orders has recorded but too many falls and apostasies, which were caused by a single passion not thoroughly eradicated. Affections. Beg of God to enlighten you. Domine facut videam. Lord, that I may see. Luke chapter 18, verse 41. In order that I may discover which is the one of my passions that should inspire me with fear for the future. Resolutions. Not to rest until I have completely subdued my predominant passion. Point 2. And forthwith coming to Jesus, he said, Hail, Rabbi, and he kissed him. Matthew chapter 26, verse 49. Consideration. What revolting hypocrisy! Under the appearance of the most respectful affection, Judas concealed the blackest perfidy. By a kiss, he pointed out and delivered up his divine master to the fury of his enemies. Did he, then, believe that he could deceive God as one can deceive men? Oh, how does passion blind its victims? Application. There is no one who does not detest the crime of Judas, but are there not Christians in our own days who renew it by making sacrilegious communions? What are they doing in reality but delivering up Jesus as much as they can under the cloak of piety to the demons who are in their hearts? May God preserve us from such a crime. But there are acts of hypocrisy less revolting, but which we ought nevertheless to fear and detest, such as contenting ourselves with exterior virtue and piety, being more careful about regularity before superiors or brethren than when alone, alleging false pretexts to attain our ends, blaming ourselves in order to obtain praise, and other things of this kind. Is not this hypocrisy and dissimulation? And have we nothing to reproach ourselves with under this head? Affections. Detestation of the crime of Judas, compassion for the sufferings and humiliation which it caused our divine Lord. Resolutions. To act always with simplicity and an upright will, and to aim at solid virtue, rejoicing that our motives and intentions are known to God. Point 3. And Jesus said to him, Friend, whereto art thou come? Judas, dost thou betray the Son of Man with a kiss? Matthew chapter 26, verse 50. Consideration. Which is the more wonderful, the goodness and ineffable sweetness of Jesus, or the hardness of heart of Judas? My friend, by giving the name to Judas, Jesus signified that he was still ready to pardon him, by asking him, "Whereto art thou come?" He wished to help him to look into himself, to recognize and abhor his crime. But Judas was unmoved. Our divine Lord made another effort to convert him. He showed him that he knew his treachery, and was horrified at it, by these words, "Judas, dost thou betray the Son of Man with a kiss?" But all was in vain. Judas remained obstinate. Application. The ineffable goodness of Jesus ought to redouble our love for him, and the inconceivable hardness of the traitor Judas should fill us with salutary fear, and extreme distrust of ourselves, no matter how many years we have been in religion, or to what degree of virtue we believe we have attained. Let us ask that this may be the fruit of this meditation. Colloquy with our loving Savior, dwelling on the affections and resolutions already indicated.